Hello again everyone, I hope you're all doing really well, and I suppose we should say goodbye to support.com. During Tuesday's trading session, it came out that Greenidge Generation had announced that their reverse merger deal with support.com had been fully accepted and that they will begin trading on the NASDAQ from tomorrow, aka the 15th of September, which is actually the date where I am here in Australia right now because I come from the future. I suppose it is not totally goodbye for support.com. Their operations will continue. However, they will be a wholly owned subsidiary of Greenidge Generation. So let's have a look at how this all could play out heading into Wednesday's session. So the announcement confirmed the final settlement for what is effectively a stock split for support.com shareholders, who will receive 0.115 shares in GREE for every stock in SPRT that they currently own. This was very interesting for the fact that it did come through so quickly. I would have thought there would have been some recalibrating of the deal, especially pursued by the support.com management, as the value of their assets had actually gone up while the value of the assets of Greenidge Generation have actually diminished in this time, largely due to the drop in value for Bitcoin since the deal was announced in March. That all aside, mathematically what this means is the initial price that GREE will be listed at could be expected to be at $102.61 based on the closing price of support.com. That is, of course, following its huge sell-off during Tuesday's trade as the news broke. The fact that support.com stock price continued to slide in the aftermarket significantly to $10.96 could suggest the price may move down to $95.30 very early on in trade. Now, I studied my finance degree in Australia, not America, so I'm not as familiar with the US listing rules. So I may be slightly wrong on this one, but I believe that it will mean that the SPRT ticker symbol for support.com will cease to trade tomorrow, and all existing shares will be converted into GREE stock at that ratio of 0.115 once the market opens. However, I can imagine a scenario where SPRT and GREE may concurrently trade for a short period of time before SPRT is delisted. I can also imagine a temporary freezing on SPRT stock in the time it takes to transfer them to GREE. However, my gut tells me it is the former and that the conversion will happen from market open tomorrow. If anyone knows this for sure, can you let me know in the comments below? I'm actually genuinely curious. I haven't covered a stock going through this before. Anyway, no matter what the stock price opens at tomorrow for GREE, I would expect there to be some major volatility as the market tries to work out the value of the new entity. Given the volatile nature of the assets being traded, this could take some time, and I would imagine it would also mean that going forward there will be a regular amount of volatility to the stock. Also, going forward, there is a real chance that this new larger company could be quite successful in the future. While Greenidge Generation will not be the only listed Bitcoin miner, they will be the only one that has their own power generation facilities, giving them a unique investment proposition over other listed Bitcoin mining rivals. Just to have a quick look at the graph one last time for SPRT, here is a 15-minute chart that shows the huge slide the stock went on yesterday. Remember that because I trade from Australia, the last two of the 15 candlesticks from Tuesday is actually where the session starts for Tuesday in America for me, and it continues through to Wednesday morning. I say this just so you get a little bit more sense out of my charts. You can see the stock was in majorly oversold territory in the RSI for the entire session yesterday. So if you were recently short on this stock, this is very good news for you, as you were likely able to exit those positions quite profitably. However, the stock did not reach the $8 line I had previously drawn in, which means there will continue to be a high proportion of publicly available stocks shorted. That is, of course, unless a lot of our new and much larger insiders decide to sell off part of their position, which, like I said, is not uncommon in this sort of situation. So just to finish off, let's work through this new short interest situation for GREE stock, or what at least I expect it to be like. So based on the last data put out by Fintel, currently 73.47% of SPRT is held in short positions. Now, the reason why it was such a volatile short squeeze candidate is for these 73% of stocks to cover, there was only 35.8% of the stock not held by insiders or institutions, i.e. 73% of stock had to buy 35% of the stock at some stage. Now, because GREE shares are only going to make up about 8% of the new entity, it's just under, but about 8%. When you convert the existing short position, it now will only actually equate for 5.88% of the current float. However, that 5.88% will only have 2.86% of the stock available to purchase. That is, of course, unless these entities sell off their positions, which in that case would heavily dilute this 2.86% and relieve a lot of pressure on the current short interest. So there's still a fair bit of action to happen in that space, and I don't want to try and make any predictions for what's going to happen there. I've generally steered clear of this stock for a good reason. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Are you guys going to continue to hold the new entity into the future? Do you think it has a strong value proposition in the future? What do you think is going to happen with all these shorts going forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyway, that's about all I have for this final video I will be doing on support.com. I will likely try to cover the new entity Greenidge Generation in the future, just to keep track on what goes on with this whole story. It's quite interesting. I have said all along that I've wanted to stay away from the short squeeze, and given what has transpired yesterday, I'm very glad I did. For those of you still trading this stock, I wish you luck. I'll try to do some more updates in the near future. Until next time, may the markets trade in your favor, guys. Take care. Cheers.